The man, the myth, the legend. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Sierra 117 himself. We have the Mattel Series 1 Halo Master Chief action figure. Really excited to bring you guys this review, and very thankful that I was able to get this figure from Amazon, and I'm just really excited. So let's get right into it. One of the first things that I want to point out to you guys is the packaging that these figures come in. I've talked about it briefly in my previous reviews, but you know, it's just really phenomenal how Mattel designed these window boxes. Right off of the bat, you see the Halo logo, but in the background it looks like a Forerunner structure, and I just think that is really incredible. Furthermore, you know, they left off several of the armor segments so that you could see the bodysuit of the figure and the detailing there. And you know, it's just incredible that they've gone to all of this effort, and you know, that they've brought such quality figures to us right off of the bat. You know, 30 points of articulation, $19.99 retail price point, 2 accessories. You couldn't ask for anything better. I just believe that Mattel has exceeded the expectations of most collectors, above and beyond anything that McFarlane has ever offered to us from the Halo line. Now, there's some artwork on the side of the packaging itself, which is really nice, detailing the Master Chief and his Mark 6 armor with the MA5. On the back, you have your obligatory product shots. In the upper left, you see the Master Chief in his bodysuit without the armor segments attached. Of course, his helmet is not removable, and you know, that's something I'm hoping that Mattel will bring us in the future, possibly as a limited edition or an exclusive, a Master Chief with a removable helmet where we actually get to see his face. I think that would really be awesome. Of course, there are 14 armor segments there in the center, the 2 accessories on the side, and on the far right you have the completed figure with his weapon. The lower left details the Series 1 figures, and the lower right is a image of the completed Alpha Crawler. So just very nice artwork and photos on the packaging. Very nice design. Certainly worth the $19.99 retail price point. And we're going to pause the video and remove the figure from the packaging and come back and see what it's all about. So stay tuned. Alright everyone, we're back. I've got the figure out of the packaging, and before we get started, I want to show everyone the instruction sheet. It's just a very simple and straightforward set of instructions. On the front cover, it details the figure and the armor segments that are included, as well as the 2 accessories. On the first page at the top, it demonstrates how to attach the front armor segments, and down at the bottom it shows how to attach the rear armor segments. On the next page at the top, it shows how to attach the hand that is used for the Covenant Energy Sword, and down at the bottom it shows how to attach the assault rifle to the figure's back. And that's all there is to the instruction sheet. Just very simple, very straightforward. Now, before I begin attaching the armor segments, I wanted to show you guys how detailed this figure is and point some things out, especially if you look here in the legs, up in the thigh area here. All of the detailing and sculpting that's gone into this figure. There's a lot of detailing here on his forearm, up toward his shoulder. There's a lot of texturing there that's reminiscent of the McFarlane figures, and just very nice sculpting on this figure. They really went above and beyond in making these. And some of the questions I've heard before have been about the paint apps in comparison to the McFarlane figures. And one thing I want to say about that is that McFarlane tended to focus on making the action figures look weathered, giving them a weathered appearance. These figures appear to have more of a metallic appearance, and I think that's one of the reasons that Mattel has chosen the color scheme that they have. Because if you look at the Master Chief with the paint apps that they've provided, the figure looks very realistic, and the paint apps simulate, you know, what this armor would really look like in real life. It's not a realistic application of paints and washes and that sort of thing. It's just simply an effort on their part to make the figure look realistic, and they've done a very, very excellent job of that. I have to say, hats off to them. So for those of you who do not know how the armor segments attach, we're going to look at that right now. And the first thing I'm going to attach is going to be his foot armor. And if you look on the bottom, it's not completely enclosed, simply back at the heel. And to attach it, you slip it on their foot just like a shoe, and it covers their heel, and you pull it over the toe section, and that tightens it so that it stays in place. And that way, that gives him better support to stand. Then for his shoulder armor, like all the armor segments, there's a peg on the inside of it, and you can see it there. And the shoulder armor does not completely wrap around his arm. So what you have to do is either come to the front or the back up here and push it and twist, and then push it up until it snaps in place, and then it's on. I'm going to turn around here to the rear here so that you can see these sections. This is the butt plate. It has a peg, and it's just going to push in right here. Just like that. Now for those of you that don't intend to swap out armor segments on these figures, one of the things I would suggest with that butt plate is to put a little bit of super glue on it or Loctite and glue it in place permanently. If any of them come off, it's going to be that. When you're attaching the leg armor, you want to attach the calf armor first. It's near impossible to get the shin armor on and then put this on. It's just the way that they're designed, and that's on all the Spartans I've seen thus far. And this is the shin armor that I'm attaching, and it just snaps into place like that. Then we're going to attach the thigh armor. Now this is by far the most difficult piece to get on altogether, and you can see that it's cut so that it doesn't completely wrap around the inside of his leg. And to get this on, I generally push it on the front because it's much easier to go on that way, and then I just twist the armor segment around, and you kind of have to push it up and around until you can get it to lock into place there. And the last piece is the gauntlet armor. Now you guys have seen my previous reviews, heard me talk about being careful and pulling the hand off, and I'm going to demonstrate that for you. The hand is on a very soft ball joint, and if you pull it too hard, you could break it and you'll be replacing your figure. So what you want to do is hold his forearm and just very gently pop his hand out. And there's that stem and ball joint that I was talking about. And if you ever see this turn white, that means that it's been stressed. It has had too much pressure applied to it, and it could very easily break. So then you want to take his gauntlet armor and just slide it straight onto his arm. And when you get ready to put the hand back on, go ahead and put the ball joint up here first and just push straight in. And there you go. And now the Master Chief is completely armored up and ready to go. Now these figures, one of the selling points for them is the fact that they have 30 points of articulation. And I've previously been asked, are the joints on these figures loose? And the answer is not really. They have double jointed ball joints and segments on them that the McFarlane figures did not have, which lends itself to greater posability, but it can also give the appearance that they're unstable, and they really aren't. So I'll just go over a few of those with you right now. First would be the ball joint on the head. The head has a full range of motion. Very nice. And the shoulders will move forward and laterally. They also twist from up here. The elbows bend, and they turn. The arms will turn there. You see the wrist that'll twist. Hip movement in and out. Bend at the knees. Ankle joint. And its torso will twist. And all of that lends itself to the posability of the figure, which is really nice. Now for the accessories that are included, I want to first take a look at the Covenant Energy Sword. And the McFarlane figures were only 5.5 inches tall. They advertised them as being 6 inches, but they weren't. Master Chief and the other Spartans in the Mattel line I've measured, and they are just a little bit over 6 inches. The Elites in the Mattel line are 6.5 inches, and they are scaled properly to the Spartan figures. And you can see how large the Covenant Energy Sword is. So the other hand that comes with it is this one, and the fingers on it are split. And the Energy Sword has a peg here for attaching to his back, and it's really difficult too, because the peg is so short, and the handle and these side sections come out and pretty much prevent it from plugging in as it should. So you could swap out his right hand with this one, and it's just going to grip the sword like that, and that's the proper way to put the Energy Sword in his hand. You could turn it around like this, but he's not going to be able to hold it firmly. That's why they split the fingers that way, so that it can grip the peg on the Energy Sword. Now here's the MA5 assault rifle that comes with the figure, and unlike the accessories that come with the the McFarlane figures, the Mattel accessories are highly decorated. They've put nice paint apps on all of their guns. You can see here the olive drab with the dark gray, and then the light dark earth color and the white striping for the UNSC. It just looks really, really nice. And I've heard some complaints from people that, you know, were talking about the M6 Magnum pistol, that it's black. Well, in the real world, handguns generally are black. So are the rifles. You know, in the real military, you know, we had weapons that, you know, were had olive drab sections on them like this, or coyote tan, what have you, to help blend in with the environment. But generally speaking, sidearms were almost always black. And, you know, I guess you could customize it if you wanted to, and paint the pistol. That's your personal preference, but I like leaving them the way that they are. So to put the weapon in his hand, his fingers are very soft and flexible, so that they don't break under stress. And you just twist it into his hand like so, and then you can bring the support hand up, and there's the Chief. He's good to go, ready to get in the fight. And just a very, very excellent figure. Again, I think Mattel has done a wonderful job with these action figures. They really went above and beyond, and you can tell that they really did their homework and put a lot of effort into the design and production of these figures. And this is simply the first series. I do not know what they have planned for Series 2. And, you know, I really like the fact that they've taken over the Halo line, because, you know, unlike McFarlane, Mattel has the finances and the assets and the resources to truly do justice to the Halo franchise, and bring us toys and collectibles that will keep their value, you know, for years to come, that you can play with, that you can collect. And one of the things that I hope in the near future that they give us are figures with removable helmets. You know, I talked about early on in the first part of the video, you know, about an unhelmeted Master Chief. I'd like to see the same thing done with Sarah Palmer. And a Thomas Lasky figure. You know, we didn't get that with McFarlane. That was canceled. And, you know, that would be a really great addition to our collection. And I do not know what they have planned as far as vehicles. I feel like in the next 6 months we'll see a Warthog scaled to these 6-inch figures. I know that Mattel has already been contacted in regards to producing a limited edition Pelican vehicle that is in scale to these 6-inch vehicles. Now, if a Pelican were produced and it were in scale to the 6-inch action figures, it would be about 6 feet long. And my understanding is when they were contacted about it, it was requested that the vehicle be a limited production run, and it would cost somewhere between $300 and $400. I don't know that Mattel will do that. You know, that might not be an investment that they're willing to make at this time, but I feel like sometime in the future that they'll wind up producing a Pelican. Mattel is going to be the company that's going to go all out with this toy line, that's going to give the fans what they really want. And just from Series 1, I am blown away. And, you know, I was one of the people who, when they first found out that 343 Industries had awarded the master product license to Mattel, I said I wasn't going to buy any of their products. And then slowly, you know, images began to leak, and I began to become fascinated and intrigued with the idea. And once I saw the products in hand for the first time, I was just blown away. And I was, man, you know, these are better than McFarlane. And you know, as fans, we need to be open and give other companies an opportunity to present to us their iteration of these figures and collectibles. Everyone's not going to be the same. They're not going to have the same concepts and the same ideas. Of course, McFarlane had theirs, and they were good for what they were. But now that Mattel has the reins, they're going to bring us their version of the Master Chief and the Spartans and the Halo universe. And I'm really excited about it, and I'm really thankful that they've chosen to do that. So thank you guys for watching the review. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them on my YouTube channel. You can also visit my Facebook page, Orion's Belt Creations. I do a lot of fan fiction writing in addition to toy reviews. I'm also taking commissions on customized Boomco Halo guns, the M6 blaster as well as the MA5 when it's released. So if you're interested to know more about that, you can email me at orionsbeltcreations@outlook.com, and I'll get back in touch with you in regards to that. Stay tuned. We have more reviews to come. Spartan Lock should be here just around the 4th of July. So thank you guys again for all of the support, for watching my videos and tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. I want to thank Amazon customer service for going above and beyond and getting these figures out to me. If it wasn't for them, you would not be seeing these video reviews right now, I assure you. So you guys have a great day. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you again soon.